Okay, I think it's a well-known thing that opinions and Ultrakill recipe for
Oh
disaster. Flashbang, by the
God.
way. Recipe for disaster.
It
So,
is.
what if we did a video where I exclusively talk about critical opinions I have on this video game?
Does that no positive or
Nothing positive. This video is
okay?
entirely hatred. I bang my desk. You probably hear that in the recording.
Yeah.
This video is entirely hate. I hate this game. Actually, I despise it. But no, we were just talking. Me and Lasagna. We were talking,
Yeah.
and we were like, I was getting into a bunch of things I thought were kind of just half baked or like good on paper, but not very useful in the game. And I was like, huh, that'd be an interesting video to talk about like some stuff I think is like a little bit like fumbled.
You were talking about all of this stuff long enough that I was like, you could make a decent sized video
Yeah.
out of this.
Because I have a few things, right? Number one. It's fitting that we're in 7-1 because it's the only level where you will ever use this accidentally. Wall sliding.
What?
When do you ever use wall sliding? I think I've talked about this before, and I was like, why the fuck is this in the game? It's kind of like half baked. I don't think it's a bad addition, right? I think like I should stress this. Like, it's not a bad addition. It doesn't detract from the game. It's just like, when are you ever intentionally sliding into a wall and like sliding along the wall? Like the only time is when you have a staircase and you kind of slide into the wall like that. I think I've heard, you know, through the grapevine, it's a speed, like a movement tech that is useful for speedruns, which is cool. I feel like it would be cool if it had more utility than just being a niche speedrun tech,
Yeah,
just in my personal opinion.
that's fair.
This is literally the only level in the game where I will even accidentally wall slide. And the entire reason is actually the bit after this room. The staircase leading down to like the tram section is the only place I will ever even accidentally wall slide. Or like notice that I'm wall sliding. And it's like, I don't know, man. I just feel like it would be cool if there was more done with the mechanic. It just makes me question, as someone who doesn't speedrun this game, like, you know, which is the majority of people who play this game, why is it in the game? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just think it's a bit weird. Like right here, I'll wall slide here. I'm wall sliding.
Oh,
Did you notice?
a bit.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't know, man. It just feels a bit underbaked to me.
A little bit.
A little bit. Anyway, now that we're here at the Minotaur, this is a perfect segue into my second favorite mechanic. And you know, no, just shut up.
What?
Don't worry about it. Anyway, wall sliding, right? I don't hate wall sliding. I don't think it's a bad thing in the game. I don't think it should be removed. Can we remove punching saw blades, please? What purpose does it serve for the game?
Yeah.
What purpose is the only thing punching a saw blade has ever done for me ever is block me from parrying something.
Yeah, you've complained about this quite a bit.
It's really annoying. And the thing is I know the devs know it's an issue
Oh.
because they did an explicit patch one time where they lowered the priority saw blades had for parrying to make it like harder to parry them accidentally when you're trying to parry something else.
Oh, and then they just...
Like they lowered it.
Oh.
But why not make it the lowest priority or just not a thing? This is the only one in this video where I'll be like, I would not care if it got removed. I would actually enjoy it if it got removed. Why do I need to be able to punch a saw blade and change its direction? I think this is very much an I think if you punch it, it does slightly more damage the next time it hits an enemy. I think. I'm not even sure. I couldn't tell you. But, like, that's completely irrelevant. Because saw blades are already one of the most powerful... I mean, look how much damage it's doing just the Minotaur being sat there. Right? Like, that's a lot of damage. That's like a quarter of its health bar.
That's a loud name, then.
That's a lot. Saw blades are already known as being, like, kind of disgustingly broken. We don't need them to be more broken. I don't know. I would not be upset to see that get removed from the video game because punching saw blades only ever annoys me because I only ever notice it when I'm trying to parry something in a saw trap and it punches a saw blade and I get hit by the thing I'm trying to parry. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. And now that we're in 7-2, This is another perfect segue into another very silly thing that they added and then kind of half removed. This one, I think, is just kind of strange. It's a strange nugget of this game's development history.
Nugget.
Yeah. And I say perfect because this is the level with gutter tanks in it. What do gutter tanks have? Rockets. What did they add when they added violence with the rocket launcher? That. The rocket turns blue if you leave it frozen for a bit, and when it hits something, it'll automatically do a red explosion. That is so fucking pointless. Oh my god. Like, okay. Like, cool. It's nice. It does a red explosion. That does more damage, right? The only time this would ever be even remotely useful is if you're firing a shitload of rockets like this at an enemy and having them all get frozen. But when are you ever doing that? Because it takes so fucking long to set up, you may as well just hit it with anything else. Like, if it's a smaller enemy, you can do what I do very frequently and just whiplash it and fire a rocket. Because you whiplash it, it pulls the enemy towards you, which brings it in the air, and because mid-air explosions do red damage, you get a red explosion, and it's way faster than sitting there and waiting like the second or two it takes, which in this game, a couple seconds is a long time in this game. Like, that's a long time to wait for that rocket. The mannequin moved out the way, like, you know. Most enemies in those couple seconds will have moved out the way. Like, look. Oh, that one actually hit.
Oh, shit.
Mannequins have reduced rocket damage, though, so it's even, whatever. It's like, you know, in the time it took for me to sit there and wait for the rocket, it's like, I could have just done that.
Yeah.
Which is the same outcome. And, like, okay, this is useful for larger enemies. But on larger enemies that you can't pull towards you, that's not really doing a whole lot to them. They have a lot more health than really necessary, you know what I mean? Like, the only time I'm whiplashing an enemy and firing a rocket is when they're small enough for it to one-shot them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the rocket launcher isn't really, like, fast enough to like, make that useful. I'm just gonna hit it with literally anything else that does more damage faster. I don't know. Like, okay. I think we're dodging the elephant in the room here. We're avoiding the elephant in the room. And that is that when this mechanic was added to the game, it had a unique feature where if you froze a rocket and then hit it with a malicious rail cannon, once it turned blue, you would get an omega nuke, which was just a core nuke, but it was twice as big. This was so broken, it got patched out of the game within like a day or two. It has never even been mentioned before. I've mentioned this a couple times before. I can't even find footage of it on the internet. It was in the game for so long. I genuinely have looked. I couldn't find a video of it.
Wow.
So like I think that was kind of like the whole, like, the main point of this mechanic existing. But with it gone, it just kind of feels like a half-baked, like, remnant of something that once was. Like, neato. It got red explosioned. What did that do to this guy? Nothing. I think red explosions, I think regular explosions do, I want to say, 3.5 damage. And I want to say red explosions do 5. I could be wrong about that. That's what I think they do. If I am right about that, a 1.5 damage increase, which is less, which is like, you know, less than it's like a slap revolver shot. It's not worth the wait. So like, I never find myself using this mechanic ever. You know, I never find myself ever using this mechanic, and if I am using it, I'm using it by accident. Which, I don't know, in my opinion, not a great mechanic.
No.
Again, that's what I'm saying. I just think it's half-baked. Does it detract anything from the game? No. It just doesn't add anything either, personally. I don't know, who knows? Maybe someone loves this mechanic and uses it all the time.
They're gonna be so mad.
They're gonna be so mad at me. I don't. Ever. Like, cool. Okay, I can set up like a trap and like, bang. But why would I do that? At least like for someone who plays on Brutal, it's just not, it's not fast enough. Like it doesn't do enough damage for the amount of time it takes to set up at all. So I don't know. It just feels kind of pointless to me. Like most of the mechanics. Like the only one in this game that I think is like actively negative is the Swordblade one. The rest of them I just think are underbaked and like kind of pointless. Speaking of kind of pointless, that. Did you even notice anything? I jumped off the enemy. They added jumping off enemies in one of the more recent updates of this game. Cool. Again, I don't think it's a negative. I just don't think it's much of a positive either. I just don't ever see this really getting used, at least personally. I know this, like, there is cool stuff you can do with it, right? Don't get me wrong. There is cool stuff you can do with that mechanic. Just personally, I have never once looked at an enemy and gone, yeah, I'm gonna jump off of that. Like, if I want to stay in the air, I'm either going to rocket ride, dash, or whiplash. I'm not gonna try jumping off an enemy, because that means I have to first get close to it, which, depending on the enemy, could put me in range of one of its attacks. And then, secondly, kind of like weirdly finagle myself on top of the enemy in a hitbox that isn't super obvious. And then third, get a mediocre jump from said enemy. Like, I don't know, I just can't say I've ever... I can't say I've ever done it intentionally.
No.
Which is, that's honestly, like, the criteria I'm using for this video, but, like, with my, just thinking, like, in my 1,300 or so hours of playing this video game, have I ever actually done this? Have I ever actually used this mechanic? And if the answer is no, I'm probably thinking it's kind of like, why is it in the game? You know?
Why?
It's like, I think the Goomba Stomp is cool. I like that you can, like, jump up and down on enemy with the ground slam and, like, do continuous damage like that. Like, with this Maurice, there's a Maurice here, I'll show you. When I get clear out those enemies, I'll show you what I mean. But you can use this with in conjunction with the ground slam, and, like, do this, right? You can but that's funny. It's a funny mechanic.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a net negative. I think it's funny. I just don't think it's very useful. And, you know, maybe not every mechanic has to be useful. But the thing that confuses me about that one in particular is I'm pretty sure it resets your wall jumps. Which to me makes me feel like they wanted to make it feel useful. But then that just gives me the question of when are you ever in the situation where you have, A, used all 3 of your wall jumps in the first place, which I don't think I ever really do in combat in this game. And then B, would desperately need 3 more wall jumps instead of just landing on the floor or rocket riding or whiplashing an enemy. Literally the only room I can see this being useful is that one in 1-E where the floor goes away. That is the only room I can picture this being useful, because, like, I'm just gonna, like, oh no, I'm out of wall jumps. Floor in question. There's usually a floor in this game. That's pretty easily acceptable. Or, like, I'm just gonna whiplash to an enemy to stay in the air. You know? I don't know. It just... The bit that makes me question the Goomba Stomp is them making it reset your wall jumps, because then it makes me feel like, okay, you wanted it to be more useful than it is.
Don't you use it in 1-?
I mentioned the 1-E, yeah. I'm like, I see the vision. I just don't think it's as useful as they were hoping. Oh.
Oh my god! Again?
We've got the trees growing.
Again?
Speaking of things that I can critique about this game, it's fine. I know they're fixing this. I hope they're fixing this. God damn, they spent 2 fucking years on it. Oh, that's
oh no.
nice. Do I
There's
know?
more?
Do I know what causes that? Absolutely not. No, there's something somewhere.
Oh.
But anyway,
There's
hello, Craig.
more.
Oh, there's more.
There's more.
This is so cool.
This...
I love this video. Ah!
Oh.
Ah.
Oh.
Good level. No bugs. No bugs. None. Whatsoever. Not one. Not a single bug. Not a single bug in this video game. Yeah. Anyway. Onto one more thing. I just think is kind of like underwhelming and like not very useful. Whiplashing coins. Like you could whiplash a coin to bounce it in the air. This is useful for dead coining. But if you're a long time viewer of this channel, you will know that I think dead coining is lame as fuck. Am I wrong for thinking that a mechanic where you stand still and you do this for like 5 or 10 minutes to max out your damage and nuke a boss? Am I wrong for thinking that that's kind of fucking boring? I don't think I'm that crazy for thinking it's boring. I think it's a bit boring. But anyway, other than dead coining, I don't actually know when else this would be useful. Just personally. Who knows? Maybe there's people out there who really like this mechanic and think it's really useful for helping them, like, shoot the coin. Because they can, like, control where it goes easier. And, like, maybe it's useful. Personally, I never use it ever. If I'm going to, like, throw a coin and I miss, I'm just going to throw another one. Or I'm going to do that. Because punching the coin increases its damage, whereas whiplashing it doesn't. So, like, I just think it's kind of... I don't know. I don't see the purpose, personally. Outside of dead coining. I think dead coining's lame.
Dang.
Yeah. Like, it's like, it just follows the theme of this whole video, where it's like, I don't think that should be removed. I don't think it's a net negative.
Other than the
sword blades, I think that should be... Fuck them. I will go on... Fuck them. Fuck the fact that you can punch sword blades when they're in a sword trap. I hate that. It's annoying.
most people don't like this.
A lot of people don't like it.
Yeah.
But I just think, like, the rest of the things I'm saying, I don't want to see gone. I don't think they're a bad thing. I just think, like, they're in the game, and I'm like, instead of thinking it's a cool thing in the game, I'm like, huh, I forgot I can do that. Which I don't think is like, necessarily a bad thing. It's like, you know, rockets. Rockets are attracted to nails, to magnets. There's 2 magnets here. Could you tell that the rockets are attracted? I fucking can't. When you put down 3, it's a lot more, like, noticeable. Except, no, it's not. Because they need to be in an enemy. I forgot.
What?
To make the magnets actually target an enemy, to target, they need to be in an enemy. And now you can see, like, the rockets, like, going for the Maurice. Like, it's like, trying to... It's, like, curving towards the Maurice. You piece of shit. Wait, let me put... This is the thing in the game, right? That I think, again, is kind of underwhelming, just personally. Rockets curving towards magnets when they're in an enemy. Like, it's a cool idea. Just personally, not very useful. If I want to hit an enemy with a rocket, I'm not going to put magnets into an enemy. I'm just going to hit them. Or if I can't hit them, I'm going to whiplash them and fire a rocket at them. Because you get, not only do you get a red explosion, but you also, it's faster, and you aren't using your magnets. Like, it's again, a cool mechanic. Never have I ever used this once. Ever. Never have I ever been in a situation where I thought, oh, that would be cool. I should do that. That would be useful. It just isn't. It's like, and like it kind of extends to gutter tanks. Like, gutter tanks, you have the rocket return thing, where if you rocket ride a gutter tank's rocket into them, it one-shots them.
Huh.
Really, really cool mechanic. I think that's a really cool idea. How it like tells you outside of just flavor text that, oh, your rocket launcher controls their rockets, and then you can use their attack against them. And I think that's really cool. It is so unbelievably impractical that you never do it ever. Ever would you ever never do that ever, because it's so impractical. Like, it's cool, but like, why would you do that? Like, on lower difficulties, maybe you do it to like to flex, on higher difficulties in brutal, you're kind of like high key throwing. If you like, you're just throwing. If you do that,
Yeah.
like, cause like, you know, either you freeze the rocket, you jump on their rocket while they're still attacking you probably, and other things are attacking you because, you know, like in a vacuum, okay, cool. You can freeze the gutter tank's rocket. You can jump on the rocket. You can ride around in a circle while its rockets are frozen, you know. In a vacuum, real cool idea. In practice, there's probably 20 other enemies firing at you, aren't there? Which means you can't spend all that time, you know, rocket riding towards them and in and around them. So the way you get around this is you put a magnet in the gutter tank, freeze the rocket, and then their rockets will be facing them because the whole rockets being attracted to magnets thing, which is, again, that's a really cool like crossover of mechanics, right? Like, it's not only can you do like use the gutter tank's own rocket against them, freeze their own rockets, but you also use magnets to attract their rocket. That's like 3 different mechanics used for one thing. That's really cool. But like, you're not only having to put a magnet in the gutter tank, which isn't doing any damage to them, while all the enemies are attacking you, which means you then can't use a magnet for like a saw trap or something. You then also, like right here, right? I put a magnet in the gutter tank. I have to freeze their rocket. Just kind of like hope that I can jump on their rocket, which is not easy, and then get off the rocket and unfreeze the magnets. And I'm out of time, and I'm dead. Like,
And you're dead. What the fuck? What the fuck?
That's not how it works.
Snoop.
Okay. That's interesting. Sure.
Sure.
Anyway, I think rocket return is a really, really cool idea on paper. However, in practice, it's too impractical to be useful. And we're gonna ignore what the fuck just happened there. Cool. Whatever. Yeah. Cool. What the fuck was that? Whatever. Okay.